In the Oval, President Trump was...
We're a long way from the Oval.
Yes,
we're a long way from the Oval right now.
And I'll bring it back to Canada in a second. But in the Oval, President Trump was asked, are we going to have a three-way North American free trade deal through the renegotiation or some bilateral deals? And his response was along the lines of, I don't care, maybe both. He wants the best deal for America. Then, I think this week, you had that conversation with Jerry Butts, and you said something along the lines, it seems apparent the USMCA will emerge with some bilateral deals.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can give us a little more color on that, sectoral deals, something coming out of USMCA, going into these two-way deals. Can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's hard to give a very narrow answer to it because it is a process. But the essence of your question is right, at least from what we see, consistent with what the President said in the Oval Office, and it's also consistent with what's happening right now. So, for example, and I'll repeat this, 85% of our trade with the United States is tariff-free. It is tariff-free because of discussions with the Americans, decision of the Americans, signed in the Oval Office July 31st by the President, but that allows CUSMA compliant, USMCA compliant in their language, trade to be tariff-free with the exception of certain sectors, okay? So that's reliant on USMCA. And of course, one of the questions and one of the possibilities, prospects, is that that continues under a revised USMCA, if it isn't revised. That's possible. So you need that USMCA framework to have that component. But what's also very clear is that there are certain sectors, steel, aluminum, autos, forest products, pharmaceuticals, where the Americans have decided are strategic and they have trade actions against the rest, everybody in the world. And we are negotiating specific sectoral deals with them, which would likely persist with a revised USMCA, okay? Because their 232 actions, to use that, with the rest of the world will persist. So already there, in real time, we see the combination of the two. The President's expressed his preference. It seems that that is likely, and it means that this is not one simple, as if any trade deal is simple, but one simple trade deal which will resolve all the issues, and that's why we're focused on retaining the huge advantage that we have relative to the rest of the world through USMCA, that 85%, the lowest tariff of any country, and working hard on these sectors where we're looking for things that other countries have not received, to be clear. And that's why the negotiations are, as the President said, the negotiations are tough, but we've come a long way in the last year, and both of those are quotes.